What is that? Okay, a complement to the one-step release. Okay, use a subtle and a short jab step or first step, then hit them with the second step is much bigger and more violent. So you kind of set the hook, okay, have the bait out there, and then set the hook with the second step. So it's a 1-2, almost like boxing, where you jab, jab, then jab, jab. Okay, 1, then 2. You hit them with the second one, which is a bigger one after the jab right there. So you're trying to set a release up after you've done something before, and that's what we call countering the quick way. Second step, mislead them. Then you need some type of avoidance, whether it be a hand or whether it be a reduction like a blade or a rip or something of that nature with it, if needed. If you don't need it, you don't take it, okay? So that's kind of where we finish, where we started with that other foot. You'll see what we're talking about in that part, okay? Making sure you're not stepping outside your framework too big because you're going back across. Know where you're going to go to, all right, as far as where you're starting, where you're ending. Your inside foot can be back or your inside foot can be forward. Just know what you're using the 1, 2, 4 and which direction you're going into. Some drill work for that. We just work against a bag, okay, with fake arms for a DB, taking our steps. We're working to the left. So if we're going to the left, we're stepping right, okay? 1, 2, stepping inside is our last step. So left, right in this case. And then you see a blade technique, Shatterius Tutu Atwell, okay, with the Rams. Now was a former quarterback, been developed into a tremendous player, okay? Not very big, but great heart and plays big. So you can see we just set it up going both ways, just working and letting them be themselves. 1, 2, be violent, turn, and then at the end, working the secondary up top. So you work your drills to work more than one thing. Then we progress to a crayon. Okay, so your progression of your drills, have a live body, have some type of bag or arms or something at that point. It's a good clip of it from practice. You'll see here from the back shot. You saw it from the front. Nice job holding the line. Okay. It's a good shot of it here from this shot with the DBCs. You can see the transference of weight. You'll see the feet aren't going very far on the 2-step. And you'll see this from the back shot. DB steps in the bucket. Obviously, you got toasted there. Good job of holding the line. Watch it from here. 1, 2, and you can see the second foot. This foot's not very wide. It's just outside the framework of his body. Obviously, almost coming to balance. And he's able to shake and bake from there, transfer its weight. Now, the more sway you can get with your shoulders and your eyes and head, the more movement. They're taught to look at your hips and your waist area, but really, they can't help it. They just see everything start moving up top and a lot of shake and bake, and then they get caught and can't recover, like here. Gets on his heels, can't recover, then steps in the bucket, opens up, crosses over, and we should get back on top, reset, and be able to pitch and catch at that point. That's a good practice rep. Okay, here's a 2-step. Here's 1, 2. Okay, the DB takes the bait. He's off balance, but he's reaching out with his hands at this point. So you got the DB change and off balance, but receiver now has got to use his hands to keep from getting grabbed because they don't want you to score. So they'll take a 15-yard penalty or holding as opposed to getting it. So watch how violent he is with his combatant move. We call it wipers. The reason we call it wipers is because a windshield wiper usually has 2 blades. So our hands, we're using both of them to wipe him off. Both of them to wipe him off. So you see the counter move's really good. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. It's short, it's sweet, it's effective. Set the bait, knock him off with the second step. 1, 2. See his foot, once it goes into the ground, the force angle it created right there at that point. I'll slow it down, go back again, see if I can get it. Here's the first step, here's the second step. And it's in the ground. You see the force angle that it creates right there. Now its foot's not that high off the ground. We don't need it that way. He's just going to pick it up. Okay, now we're going to get moving forward. You see him put it in the ground and then cross over right there and we're gone. You can see the hands. Really nice. Look at the rage up the field. He doesn't just look for the ball right now because the ball's not going to be there. It's the ball that's vertical down the field. So it's a good job. He can catch up to that. So run first, then look. All right, here's a game example. Okay, where you're using a counter move at this point. It's sudden. See the step? That's your step back. So now he's got his weight flipped with his feet. So actually in stance and start whirl, his foot's forward. He doesn't have all his weight on his foot, okay, at that point. So he wants to use this in the opposite direction here. He takes a step with this one back and then this one forward because he wants to go inside. So in that case, he's got flipped his feet where he can go 1, 2 and take that and go. Really nice with his front foot up, his left foot up, puts it back, puts his left foot back, then uses a right foot to stick. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Great job of using your feet to throw him off. So a lot of times you got your feet this way, people thinking you're only going one way, which is outside at that point. Great job there flipping the feet, okay? Okay, good jab, obviously.